We now get to this horrifying tale of a survivor. She's 80 years old. She was inside a house when that house was targeted by the rioters. Now they could see what's happening outside. They could hear what's happening. Their vehicles were set on fire. The victims were being mocked. Now this 80-year-old survivor says that anti-India sloganeering was also on by the protesters who set shops, two-wheelers and cars on fire. Listen in.
अम्मा जी क्या हुआ क्या था कल रात को?
कल रात को पथराव हुआ था ये, पत्थर फेंके खूब।
आपको भी चोट लगी है?
हाँ, पाँव में लगी मेरे।
जी। और कुछ बोल भी रहे थे उन लोग पत्थर फेंकते टाइम?
पत्थर टाइम वो बोल रहे थे वहाँ कि राम को बुलाओ।
और वो ये कहते जा रहे थे कि अब आग लग रही है गाड़ियों में, अब बुलाओ तुम्हारे राम को, अब बुलाओ राम भगवान को। 1 से 1.5 घंटा पूरा पथराव चला है सर। उस 1 से 1.5 घंटे में 1 मिनट भी पथराव बंद नहीं हुआ है।
तो उस वक्त क्या महसूस हो रहा था? आप लोग बहुत मतलब आपको लग रहा था कि अब बहुत फंस गए हम लोग, और मतलब उस वक्त क्या स्थिति बन रही थी?
1.5 से 2 घंटे पथराव चला। उस समय कोई पुलिस उस पूरे दौरान नहीं थी। 1.5 से 2 घंटा कंटिन्यूअस एक पुलिस भी नहीं थी। आग लगाई जा रही थी, गाड़ियों को जला दिया, नीचे मेडिकल शॉप्स को जला दिया। पथराव हुए 1.5 घंटा तक पूरा पथराव हुआ। गली में घुसने की कोशिश करी, घर में घुसने की कोशिश करी, कपड़ा जला के फेंकने की कोशिश करी, पूरा नीचे शॉप डैमेज कर दिया, जला दिया, गाड़ियां जला दी। इस पूरे दौरान 2 घंटे में एक पुलिस वहां पे अवेलेबल नहीं थी। और हम लोग ये
पैर में भी लगी है अम्मा जी के।
जब पथराव हुआ तो दादी वहीं पे सो रही थी और हिट उनके ये यहाँ पे पैर में उन्हें पत्थर आके एकदम से लगा।
We'll get you both sides of the story. You heard the victims on this side. Ravish Pal Singh also spoke to Muhammad Jabir, who's the Mufti and Imam of the Jama Masjid there in Mhow. He's the Sheher Qazi. And listen into what he had to say about how the violence started with the victory procession and, according to him, the targeting of people who were going for prayers. Listen in.
शहर पर धब्बा है, और दूसरा यहाँ मुझे ये नज़र आया है कि प्रशासन से चाहे जानकर नहीं सही अनजाने में चूक हुई है। उनको भी अंदाज़ा नहीं था, जैसे मेरे प्रशासन अधिकारियों से बात हुई, कि इंडिया न्यूजीलैंड के मैच में भी कुछ ऐसा हो सकता है, सांप्रदायिकता वाला कोई माहौल बन सकता है। उनके भी जहन में नहीं था, इसलिए उनसे भी एक चूक हुई है। शायद आइंदा ये चूक दोहराई नहीं जाएगी। नहीं, असल में त्योहारों को लेकर जो जुलूस निकलते थे, दोनों पक्षों की सहमति से ये तय हो चुका था कि इन जगहों से जुलूस नहीं निकलेंगे, और प्रशासन की आगवानी में और उनकी बीचवानी में ये चीज़ तय हुई थी। कल चूँकि इंडिया की जीत का जश्न था, जो हकीकत में हमारे लिए भी जश्न था, लेकिन इस जश्न के लिए आप शहर के किसी भी कोने में और गली मोहल्ले में कहीं पे भी आप जा सकते हैं, कोई हर्ज नहीं है। लेकिन शासन प्रशासन की थोड़ी सी निगरानी होना थी, वो नहीं हो पाई।
And I want to bring in India Today's Ravish Pal Singh, who's been tracking this story very closely. Ravish, of course, was out to cover victory celebrations because the entire country was celebrating, and nobody anticipated that after India's stellar performance in every match, right from the beginning till the end, instead of talking about those victory celebrations, we'd be talking about this violence and arson and people who may object to celebrations. But I also want to bring in Dr. Vikram Singh, former Director General of Police, for a security perspective, because many are saying this is an abject failure of the administration in Madhya Pradesh, and the Mohan Yadav government must explain how could something like this happen. But I want to bring in Ravish first. Ravish, explain to our viewers, why would anybody have a problem, or why would there be stone pelting if India's victory is being celebrated in Champions Trophy, and that too lifting the Champions Trophy?
Yeah, Gaurav. First of all, let me start this conversation with a very positive sign of how the life in Mhow is getting in normal very quickly. You can see where we are standing right now is a close proximity area of Jama Masjid in Mhow, and you can see how the traffic movement is now restoring. The life is now getting restoring very quickly in Mhow. But yes, now the main topic. Why why people who are taking a victory parade, they are being targeted by a mob of people just in front of a mosque. This was the area where last night around 40 two-wheelers, people on around 40 two-wheelers, they are out taking a victory procession in front of that mosque, Jama Masjid in Mhow, and they were celebrating like any other Indians. And as we can see that we have seen the visuals from across the country, across the globe, where Indians, every Indian was celebrating the grand victory in Champions Trophy last night over the New Zealand team. Similarly, the area in Mhow, around 40 four-wheelers, people in around 40 vehicles, they were roaming in the city and they were celebrating the victory. They were slogging the victorious slogans and also they were celebrating with firecrackers. But when the victory procession was crossing this area, which is Jama Masjid, allegations are being made that there were stones, pelting done by the people who were in the mosque that time.
Stay with me for a moment. Stay with me for a moment. I want to bring in Dr. Vikram Singh into this conversation, and we'll continue this conversation, Ravish. Dr. Vikram Singh, what do you make of this? So there's a victory procession. If it crosses a place of worship of a particular community and there are allegations there was stone pelting, what would you make of it? Because for the benefit of our viewers, I must also say that the Sheher Qazi, he seemed to indicate that there were also firecrackers being burst, and that some found unacceptable, that firecrackers were either being burnt, burst too close to the mosque or inside the mosque.
Good evening, Gauravji. Yes, I would say that all the participants, all the parties, all the stakeholders have something to explain about. Firstly, the police. They should have been more vigilant and more so in this moment of great celebrations. Everybody is celebrating, there's no doubt about it. But in this celebration, the celebration should be in absolutely in temperate terms, not being oppressive so as to offend anyone, block traffic and obstruct movement of essential services like the ambulance and the fire services, because there's also a record that they were obstructed because of the traffic jam. Now, the fact that you had the first-hand account of the victims from that balcony was absolutely strewn with brickbats of a size that are almost half a brick. That means that they're fully prepared. Somebody was fully prepared to press not only brickbats, but also use petrol bombs. What was the duty of the police? They should have had a physical presence and anticipated there. Then the fact of the matter is, as Sheher Qazi said, that there was a mutual agreement between both the communities that the route of any procession would be regulated, and there will certainly be some regulation. Those regulations were thrown to the winds, and a procession went and burst. Whether it is true or false, it is for the police. But the police also need to explain why they were caught on the wrong foot in such sensitive matters. Holi is around the corner. Juma is around the corner. They should have been up to the expectation of the people that if there is a victory procession, well, that should have been suitably escorted. Should not have gone into the areas which agreed upon. If the Jama Masjid is a sensitive area, if at all they would have gone, they should have been escorted on a fast forward mode so that there is no face-off, there is no altercation. But a national victory is a matter of celebration.
Absolutely. It's a national victory. It should be a matter of celebration for everybody.
For everyone.
Because the other aspect I want to come to, and Ravish, if you're still with me, apparently when there is an India-Pakistan match, in an India-Pakistan match, a certain area is barricaded so that in case India wins, there are no victory celebrations going through that area. That defies logic once again. Why should there be any no-go areas within our country if India defeats Pakistan in a cricket match? Ravish.
Yeah, that's a very questionable remark given by the Sheher Qazi himself when I asked him about why there is a need to put a barricade when there is someone wants to take a victory parade after the victory of Indian cricket team. He said because of the Ramzan and Holi celebration, Holi festivals, both the communities have mutually decided not to take victory procession or any kind of religious processions in front of their religious religious structure. Similarly, the area which you can see right now near the Jama Masjid Mosque, Jama Masjid, this area is being prohibited for any kind of religious processions as per the mutual understandings and during the meetings of both the communities. But Victory Parade is not a religious procession at all, and this Victory Parade was taken out after the Team India's victory over the New Zealand. So why was there any kind of provocation? Why they think that the Victory Parade is being carried out to provoke them? This is the biggest question which was unanswered by the Shahar Qazi when I confront him over these allegations.
Absolutely. I mean, why should victory over Pakistan be seen as provocation? Dr. Vikram Singh, for anybody in India, every Indian is at least expected, it's at least expected that they would be happy that India has won, or it's unfortunate in case some get depressed.
You're so right. Who on earth would not celebrate the victory of India over any country, whether it's Pakistan or New Zealand? And this was the cause of celebration. And as Ravish ji has mentioned, the Shahar Qazi was way off the mark because the understanding between the two communities was for a religious procession, but not for a victory celebration. A victory is universal and they cannot be misused in the sense that there was an agreement in respect of religious festival. And to make a fetish that any procession who goes and any shouting of slogans will not be tolerated, I think that is not just logical or acceptable. I would expect every community to be tolerant, irrespective of which community, but it is a cause of celebration and both the communities should have celebrated together. I would rather both the communities should have come together and taken out that victory position also together. The Indian cricket team, Gauravji, is an example of communal harmony. If somebody touched the feet of Shami,
Mohammad Shami's mother, absolutely. It was Virat Kohli, absolutely, Virat Kohli. Sir.
So, can there be better example of communal harmony than this? Please take the example of at least our cricketers who have been iconic and who have given a lead role, how best to be upright Indians and absolutely non-communal.
And this is something that Virat Kohli led by example, and I'm so glad you pointed that out. You're absolutely right, Dr. Vikram Singh. It was so heartening to see, the entire country stand with Virat Kohli when some Maulanas tried to say that when he had an energy drink during Ramzan, that was wrong and it was Gunah-e-Azim. And then the way Virat Kohli went and touched his mother's feet, I mean, Mohammad Shami's mother's feet, it's the most normal thing to do. It's the most normal thing to do for anybody. That is the Sanatan culture. That is the culture of this land, that your parents are God. But it's not just
Gauravji, Shami's mother is our mother. Shami's mother is our mother, everybody's mother.
Absolutely, sir. You're absolutely right. And who are these elements who are trying to divide to rule? Of course, there are some, Dr. Vikram Singh, before I go to Telangana and bring in our colleagues from there were some who have in the past said, each time India wins a cricket match, that spirit of nationalism is very worrisome. There are some commentators who've said that in the past, and that is why some commentators are very unhappy with India's victory in cricket, because they think that Rashtra Bhakti and Desh Bhakti, that fire is not just lit, it just takes, it actually encourages everyone.